Now, if you are an engineering manager, then your course will have two broad areas. One, you will pick the IC pathway for your domain, so let's say your domain was front end, or let's say full stack, you would pick what I showed you first, the full stack domain. You'll go through all of those components that you need in full stack, like coding, system design, full stack fundamentals, career skills, and then you will have an additional module taught by engineering managers, directors of engineering, which focuses exclusively on leadership, right? So if you look at on the left, you will see typically what would be an engineering manager interview process. Screening round, 1 to 2 rounds on leadership, then 1 or 2 rounds in coding fluency. Depends on the company. Some companies don't ask much about coding. Scalable system design. Between coding and system design, the emphasis will be much more on system design. Then you'll have leadership interviews in detail. These tend to be very tough, right? And then you'll have maybe 1, sometimes 2 rounds of detailed proficiency testing on your domain, right? So on the right, what I've highlighted is the kind of things we teach in just leadership, right? Icebreakers, what are they looking for? Questions around motivation, values, questions around people leadership, questions around planning, prioritization, and then general management. So as you can see, guys, we are now building up, right? We've talked about the 4 things that you need. We started by saying curriculum is a mix based on what you need, highly customized, developed by actual hiring managers, right? And now what we're going to move to is how does this work on the ground, right? So people have different timelines. Some people come in with interviews already lined up, right? Maybe they have a month. Some people come in where they're saying, I'm going to interview in the next 2 to 5 months. And some people come in saying, hey, this, ironically right now, is a fantastic time to prepare because I realize in today's environment that it is always important to be interview ready and that good things take time to bake. So I'm going to actually spend a lot of time getting ready so that I'm always in a place where I can go in and interview at top companies, because the arbitrage, I beg your pardon, between different levels of companies in the software career ladder is huge. It's unlike you see in any other industry. And so if you take the typical process, you will spend 2 to 3 months. Each week, you will focus on one topic. Post that, you will have 6 months of support. You will do mock interviews, you will do negotiations, you may choose to interview at companies, and then you have lifelong learning. This typically takes about 10 to 14 hours a week, right? 1 to 2 hours a day you are going to commit. If you are somebody who already has an interview, right, and you don't want to move it out, then you can take the accelerated version of the course, which is completely self-paced. In the accelerated version of the course, you can get started immediately. You can get started today, right? We'll give you classes, we'll give you recordings, we'll give you everything in advance. In the accelerated course, you can do this really as fast as you want, right? But I'd say it will at least take you 3 to 4 weeks, right? In the accelerated version of the course, you can also say, hey, I have 1 month, I want to focus mostly on coding, right? Or I want to focus mostly on system design, and you watch videos for all of those. You may be able to attend a couple of live classes, not as much as you would in the typical program, because you need to compress it into 1 month, and you can move, right? In the accelerated version of the program, you probably need to put in a lot of time. You probably need to put in about 20 hours a week, right? Because it's self-paced, but it's really how much time you want to put in and where you want to focus. And then you can go into the extended version of the program, which is, hey, I'm not in any hurry, right? I want to take time to immerse myself in this. I don't want to invest more than 5 to 6 hours a week, in which case you'll do the extended version of the program. The difference between the typical and the extended version of the program is in the typical program, the unit of learning is 1 week. So you'll have 1 topic per week. In the extended program, the typical unit of learning is 2 weeks, right? And so you can take more time to kind of spread it out. In all cases, you have a 6-month support. In all cases, you have access to mock interviews. In all cases, you have all of this recorded access to the curriculum for your life, right? So we're building up, right? Saying that this is totally customizable. It's for all types of engineers, ICs, experienced engineers, staff engineers, PMs, TPMs, engineering managers, and it's completely flexible based on your timeline. Going back to the ethos of who we are, we want to partner with you, regardless of what your background is, to help you up-level and make this transition. If you go through this course, you actually complete it, you go out and interview, because not everybody chooses to go out and interview, right? Some people just want to be interview ready and they say, hey, I'm going to interview 2 years later, right? But if you do all of this, you go out and interview, and then for whatever reason, you don't succeed, we will refund 50% of your course fee, no questions asked, right? And you can enroll for a course starting now or later. We start cohorts every week, right? We tend to get booked a little bit in advance, right? And so you might want to think about timing, but you decide, right? You can enroll for this month, you can enroll for next month, you can enroll all the way up till December this year. The point is, get started, right? Make this leap. It is very important to give yourself that forcing function to start this up-leveling journey. It's an unbelievably rewarding journey, right? Now, I want to end by saying, why now, right? If you have a dream, if you want to try and make it to your dream job, you need to act, right? All of this is accessible. All of this is accessible. We don't take any entrance test. All we require is that you know how to code and that you have experience in the domain that you are in, right? But you need to act. This process has a success rate of 2 to 3% at top companies, right? In our case, we are able to expand that massively, right? All of these people failing, making these transitions, because it's the same people, they just are equipped with the right support system to be able to do this. Companies are still hiring. We recently, actually just a couple of weeks ago, tied up with a Faang company who wants us to train folks who are failing their interview process. That is how strong the validation for this program is. Nothing is more rewarding than having a very successful career, and not just financially, right? Even the kind of impact that you can make where you are working at, universe-changing, world-changing initiatives is extremely rewarding. And you should always be interview ready. There is no way you can time the market. Markets in tech tend to bounce back incredibly fast. We just saw that in COVID. It is the people who constantly bet on tech, constantly bet on themselves, and who constantly stay ready to take advantage of opportunities. Even in this environment, right? We are seeing tons of companies in specific teams who are hiring, right? It is the engineer who backs themselves and who says, I want to always be interview ready. That is the engineer. It is the prepared mind that can take advantage of the opportunities that come their way.